everybody, in this video I'll show you how to play Cold Feelings by Social Distortion off the Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell record. The song is in standard tuning, and if you have a quick second, remember to like and subscribe. That way you get notified when I post new videos. I post stuff like this several times a week. And check out my website, scottobryanguitar.com. I have the tab for this song as well as hundreds of other punk, rock, and grunge songs up there. And here we go. All right, so the rhythm part for this song is really straightforward. There's only 3 chords in the whole song. For this video, I'm going to be using my Fender Twin Reverb amp and a Boss DS1 distortion pedal. I'll put an Amazon link in the description, and just so you know, I get a small commission off of each sale, which helps support the channel. So we're going to start off with this intro part that goes like this. And so basically we're just playing these bar chords. They're basically like 3-note power chords. And this is going to start off with the B flat. So our index finger at the 1st fret of the A string and ring finger bridged across the 3rd fret of the D and G. And we're just going to palm mute, and then we're going to gradually let off that palm mute. So we're just opening that up, and then we're just going to do that same form of the chord, just with this time with our index finger rooted at the 4th fret of the A string. So. And then after that part, it goes into the main riff, which goes like this. So we're going to start off again with that same B flat chord, and we're going to do that palm muting build up, pretty much 8th note straight time. Except this time it's not going to be as long. And then we're going to go to an F sharp major chord. And we're just going to probably play the bottom 4 strings. We're not going to play that all the way through. And this is a little looser with the strumming. We're going to just kind of go with alternate strumming. And then we're going to go to like a C sharp power chord. And normally you'd play this power chord with your index finger rooted at the 4th fret of the A string and then ring finger bridged across the 6th fret of the D and G. But this is going to be an inverted root version of this chord. So we're going to actually bridge our index finger across the 4th fret of the E and A strings. And for power chords, normally you have a root note and then a 5 note, which in this case would be the A and D string, which makes it a power chord. And then the low E string at the 4th fret is also the 5 note. So those 2 notes are the same note. So we're doing basically an inverted root and playing the 5 note on the low E and on the D string. And it gives it that kind of dark sound. So again, with the verse, we're going to go. And then after that first verse, we're going to do that intro part again, this time as kind of a bridge. And then we go back into that verse part. And then for the chorus, we're actually going to play the exact same chords in the exact same pattern. It's kind of cool how he does this. Instead of singing on that first line of the B flat, he starts singing the chorus on that F sharp chord. And so it makes it feel like the chorus is actually going from here to here to here, but you never have to switch up the pattern. So it's kind of an interesting way to use those same 3 chords and get a completely different kind of sound out of it. So for the chorus, we're still just going to continue with. And so that's it for the rhythm parts for the song. It just kind of repeats that, and then it's a little different at the end. I'll show you that after I go through the solo. And for the solo is in the key of B flat, which is the first chord of the song, and the key of the song. So we're going to start off with this pattern that repeats twice, and it goes. So we're going to do that twice. So we're going to start with our index finger bridged across the 6th fret at the B and E strings. And we're going to hit both of those notes. And then it's single notes from here on out, although it does sound like he occasionally hits the high E string. But for the intents and purposes of this video, we're just gonna stick with the single note. So slowly, we're gonna start it with that 6th fret double stop, then slide up to the 9th fret, so. And then we're gonna do this kind of alternate picking pattern, so. So we're gonna go up to the 11th fret, so. And then go back to the 9th. Then we're gonna go back down to the 6th. Then we're gonna hit a double stop at the 6th of the B and G string. So. Then we're gonna kind of hold that double stop and hammer on really quickly with our ring finger. And then do kind of a bend, so. And then continuing on, we're just gonna do a descending pattern, so. And it kind of sounds like he's doing just single notes, not that alternate strumming, so. So 6 on the B string, 8, 6, 5 on the G. And that whole pattern is gonna go twice, so slowly again through it. And so that's basically half the solo. We're going to do that part twice. And then it goes into this part with these bends that goes. And so we're just going to do these unison bends back and forth. Index finger's 6th fret of the B string. Ring finger pushing at the 8th fret of the G. And then we're going to go higher, and we're going to go index finger rooted at the 6th fret of the E string, and bending with our pinky at the 9th fret of the B. And I like to use my ring finger and my pinky finger to kind of push, and even my middle finger a little bit, so kind of provide some extra support for my pinky there, so. And then we're going to do this kind of descending pattern, and it goes something like this. This might not be completely exact. It's kind of fast to hear everything, and he kind of ad-libs it a little bit, but it goes like this. So basically, this is just a descending pattern. We're going to do a bunch of hammer-on pull-offs, moving down through the minor pentatonic scale on the top 3 strings, and then we're going to kind of end on the D string. That's a complicated way of saying we're going to go like 6, 9, 6 on the top string with a hammer-on pull-off. And then we're going to do kind of a hammer-on pull-off, but more of a pull-off, so from the B to the G, so something along those lines. And then we're going to do a hammer-on pull-off from the 6th to the 8th fret of the G string down to the 8th fret of the D. So slowly it sounds like. But he plays it really quickly. And then at the very end, we're going to go back to that same pattern we played at the beginning, except it's a little different at the end this time, so it goes. And then we go back into those kind of Chuck Berry style bends. Index finger bridge across the 6th fret of the B and E, and bend at the 8th fret of the G. And we're just going to play that pattern. So that whole last section through. And then we're going to end with this pinch harmonics part. So he's going to have his index finger at the 6th fret of the G, ring finger at the 8th fret of the D, and kind of do this back and forth pattern. And pinch harmonics can be a little difficult to do if your amp's not loud enough or you don't have the right amount of kind of overdrive. But basically what you do is you are going to kind of take the tip of your pick, and you're going to kind of it almost feels like a missed pick, but you're also kind of twisting, and I like to use kind of the tip of my finger. And you get that kind of squeal. It's kind of hard to do it because my amp's not super loud, and it goes. And he does that kind of pattern like. And then he just adds kind of pinch harmonics in and out of there. And so the whole solo all the way through slowly goes. So that's basically all the parts for the song, and then it repeats those same chords throughout. And then towards the end, there's this kind of guitar fill that's just basically bending at the 3rd fret of the G string, and it goes just basically like that throughout. And then at the very end, we just are going to run through those chords, and it goes. And that's the end of the song. So that's it for this one. I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe. That way you get notified when I post new content. Post new videos like this several times a week. And check out my website, scottobryanguitar.com. I have the tab for this song as well as hundreds of other punk rock and grunge songs up there. And I'll see you guys next time.